I know, there's a bunch of you groaning right about now. Oh no, another Cutie Mark episode. Of course there's another Cutie Mark episode in me. And you know why. Say it with me now. Because I have a hunch about what Cutiepox is. And I don't think Apple Bloom is the only one that's experienced it. As we know, cutie marks are the iconography that appears on the flanks of ponies when their latent magical ability crosses a certain threshold. One of the great multi-episode story arcs was about Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, and Apple Bloom, the Cutie Mark Crusaders. 3 intrepid fillies looking to figure out what their place in society would be, trying to discover what they were best at, and spoilers. After 109 episodes, they finally achieved that goal in Crusaders of the Lost Mark after an amazing moment of personal growth and clarity of purpose. I am not fucking crying, damn it. I'm not! So in pony culture, early adulthood vests on a pony discovering for themselves what their own natural talent is, and that becomes reflected in what they are best at. But let's be clear, a cutie mark ability may not be what gives personal satisfaction. We've also learned that having multiple cutie marks is a very bad thing. In Call of the Cutie, Twilight is able to materialize several cutie marks on Apple Bloom, 13 in fact, each of which dematerializes within moments, fortunately. And in Cutiepox, when Apple Bloom wants to gain her cutie mark through external means, in this case with Zeccora's Heart's Desire plant, she begins to manifest several that stay on her until the pox is cured by use of the Seeds of Truth. We'll get to that cure in a second. Cutiepox seems to be brought on by trying to force a pony's natural magical shape against its inherent form. I know it sounds confusing, just hang in with me. Let's modify the shaped snowflake analogy from before. Each specifically shaped flake settles into a specifically shaped container, and each flake is another level up from the bottom. So let's visual it more like sorting coins by size and shape than stacking them into tubes. So the magic snowflake coins fill the tube wrapper container, helping them to hold their form. The shape of stored magic inside conforms to the pressure of the vessel outside the same way. Dimes, dollars, loonies, nickels, toonies, quarters, they conform to the size and the shape of the tube. Now, there are also hexagonally shaped coins out there that don't fit the shape and size of those tube openings, so they don't get stacked with the round ones. But if you bang on the opening of the container, metaphorically speaking, you change the shape of magical snowflake coin shape it'll accept. The magic doesn't conform to the rest of the magic vessel's shape, pushing against it in wrong ways. The vessel gets agitated and pushes back against the unnatural magical form, so it rebounds in random directions, finding a new shape that's close enough to accommodate the wrong-shaped magical energies. But that causes problems for the next batch of magical energy shape to be sorted and accepted. And the process repeats again and again. Each time more cutie marks appear because the pony's talent magic is rebounding uncontrollably and spilling out over the top prematurely. So Cutiepox is what happens when incorrectly shaped cutie mark magic uncontrollably spills over the edge of the pony's magical holding vessel. And in Apple Bloom's case, she wheeled herself into accepting a cutie mark ability by artificially screwing up her vessel. For Zeccora to have the exact cure for Cutiepox in that place and time seemed a little too zebra ex machina to me, so I took it apart and I examined what this cure was, only to find out Zeccora's cure? It's a big fat lie. Oh, I know, but Icarus, it worked. Watch this. Zeccora's instructions were, a Cutiepox cure I have forsooth, for healing power is in the Seeds of truth. These seeds must be planted in the ground. With the truth they'll grow, and the cure is found. The seeds of truth do hold the cure, but one must speak words true and pure. She was telling Apple Bloom to speak the truth about the origin of her Cutiepox, meaning having stolen the heart's desire, which would make the seeds of truth grow, and that would make the Cutiepox go away. Did you catch that? Zecora told an earth pony, a race famous for being able to grow crops and food, to concentrate on willing a seed to grow quickly without thinking about the actual mechanics. Apple Bloom wanted to be cured so badly that she just accepted what Zecora told her to do, and by doing so, she channeled the bogus Cutiemark magic into magical work that she inherently could expend. That drained off the magical energies in a safe way and reset her Cutiemark magic. She concentrated so hard on using the inherent Earth Pony magic to make the seed bloom, she thought telling the truth was what got rid of the pox. Yeah, the seeds of truth were just flowers. No special traits to them. Zecora being Zecora just used them as a bit of misdirection. Don't believe that's possible? How about the amulet from beyond the Everfree Forest, which turned out to just be Zecora's doorstop, or using the masks to keep the bees from attacking Fluttershy? Misdirection has been used before. Why not this time? So let's go back to why Cutiemarks are shaped at all. Equestrian Magic itself has a shape. The shape analogies I've been using are more literal than figurative. In our universe, fields of power have a definite shape, basically spheroid. One of the most commonly seen ones are the lines of force that we see when putting a magnet under paper and sprinkling metal shavings on top. The shavings naturally gather into the shape of the magnetic lines of force. This works for bar and horseshoe magnets. So what if a Cutiemark is the shape it is because it's simply an expression of the shape of the magical force itself, meaning that the pony's inherent magic is shaped like something the magic can influence. For instance, Rarities shows her ability to render gems locatable. Princess Cadence shows her connection to the Crystal Empire's source of power. Princess Celestia has, well, the sun, and Her Majesty Princess Luna has the moon, of course. There are two high-profile and exceptionally special standouts, Rainbow Dash and Twilight Sparkle. I've already talked about Rainbow Dash's Cutiemark, but Twilight's is another case altogether, and that's why you're here, isn't it? Her Cutiemark is 5 identical 6-pointed starbursts around a double overlapping 6-pointed starburst, making 7 stars total. Some have pointed out that there are 42 points if you count them all up, a reference to the answer to life, the universe, and everything. But this seemed way too obvious to me. I mean, sure, most 12-year-olds aren't going to get the reference, and the show had no idea at the outset that the brony community would glom onto the series, and that's all the thought that went into the design phase. That's it. Roll credits. Thanks for watching, every pony. Wait, stop. You know I'm not stopping here. I mean, look at the player bar. There's way too much time left. Sorry, fourth wall break. Where was I again? As I discussed before, Twilight was infused with the power from the elements just before her Cutiemark materialized, in this case seemingly to represent the element of magic. So what is Twilight's Cutiemark if not the element of magic? Because I don't think that's quite it. When Nightmare Moon and Celestia fought, Celestia channeled the power of the other element gems into the Starburst gem. It wasn't all the gems using their forces together like with Discord or a Nightmare Moon. It was the power of the gems funneling into the Starburst which acted as a moderator, combining the power of each of the other 5 into a single cohesive beam to push and imprison Nightmare Moon into the moon. I think Twilight's exhibiting a mild form of Cutiepox. I think her latent power was going to be as a moderator, a leader who can take in as much information as possible from whatever sources she can and make the best possible choices from that going forward. After all, before Twilight's Cutiemark happened, she read all she could, studied all the magic she could, even though she wasn't very good at it. And before you think that's not a real power, consider Mayor Mayor's Cutiemark, showing her ability to write. It could be law, could be literature, could be canon notes, who knows. But going back to the sisters' battle, each of the elements' power fired into the moderator, which combined them into a single-purpose beam. It's not too different from what I'm talking about, except I'm talking about information rather than beams of magical energies. But the sonic rainboom shook her up, imparting the element's power and thereby the Cutiemark, the 6 white starbursts, then the overlapping purple one. Her power changed. She still enjoyed reading and learning. That's just part of her personality. But she became the moderator of the elements of harmony's power with one very specific and amazing ability, and we've already seen her use it. When Nightmare Moon returned and Twilight tried to ignite the elements of harmony, Nightmare Moon shattered those 5 gems. Then Twilight has an epiphany that those 5 ponies, her newest friends, exhibited the traits of the once mythical elements enough that they could take on the role of the bearer. And the shattered gems were recrafted into their Cutiemark shape, reflecting the shape of the power each of them had within themselves. It's like crafting a musical instrument. The object needs to be able to vibrate in a specific way to get the pitch and timbre you want. Twilight reforged the crystals, the 5 crystals, into the shape of each of the bearer's inherent magical form. This was Twilight's Cutiemark ability, being able to reforge the element gems into the Cutiemark design, conforming to the shape of each's magical form so that they could be re-energized for the Tree of Harmony by having the element bearer's own magic infuse them. 5 broken crystals, 5 Cutiemark starbursts, then the final crystal, the moderator, came from... not from underground, but from somewhere above? And it was the same shape as her overlapping Cutiemark, ready for her to take control of it directly. When the main 6 took on Discord, the elements of harmony didn't fire off as they normally would. Individual Cutiemark-shaped bolts of power fired from each of the gems for a time before the rainbow ignition happened, indicating that the power and ability was not re-channeled directly, but they were working independently of each other up until the ignition happened. But Twilight's Cutiemark still has a puzzle. If the purple star represents the element of magic's gem, and there are 6 white starbursts seeming to conform to the other main 6's elements, then we're missing an element gem and its bearer somewhere in Equestria. And yes, I have a hunch as to where that gem is and who has it. Until next time, safe travels, every pony. I wish you well. And may Luna watch over you.